Folks, 2XKO is bringing so much hype to the FGC right now, so today, in partnership with Riot Games, I wanted to bring you the 2XKO Masterclass and tell you 10 things that every 2XKO player needs to be doing if you want to be successful in this game. And I'm going to start out on the easier side, the more beginner-oriented side, and then we're going to get more complex and more deep as the video goes on. So thank you again to Riot Games, and let's hop in with number 10 on the list. Okay, so the first tip I had for you guys is learn the hidden mechanics of your fuse. So your fuse choice can change a lot the way that you play, and there is a lot of stuff to each of these fuses that may not necessarily be described in detail in these short little descriptions here. So obviously the double down fuse lets you do one character's super and then go straight into the next character's super. That's the main thing that this fuse does. But did you also know that if you call an assist and then do your super, double down allows you to tag during the super? This is the only fuse in the game that allows you to do that. And yeah, let's just say that this allows you to do some pretty crazy stuff. You can tag during your super, combo off it, and just do all kinds of crazy setups, mix-ups, make the opponent block a super, and then tag out in the middle of it so that you can start mixing the opponent up while they're blocking the super. Yeah, there's a lot of powerful stuff with this. The Juggernaut fuse has a lot of interesting mechanics as well. So the Juggernaut fuse is the only way in the game that you can snap the opponent out and force their other character to come in. So if they have a character that's low on life, you can snap them out and force them in, and you can even do all kinds of nasty mix-ups on the incoming character. Kind of crazy. Juggernaut Fuse also has the ability to combo their own level 1 into level 1. Or they can even do a level 1 into a level 3, since Juggernaut Fuse allows you to have up to 5 meters at a time. So yes, this fuse has a lot of nasty little hidden secrets as well. And another one I think not a lot of people know about is the Sidekick fuse, where you only play as one character, but you can still call your assist. And the Sidekick fuse has a very unique mechanic where if you tap a button in time with getting hit by the opponent's attacks, you will actually recover a tiny bit of the damage that you take. So you can see that this Alawi combo leaves the health bar kind of at the right edge of the P on P1 on Ari's screen. But if I tap the button in time with it, I will recover a little bit of the life, and you can see now it's at the front edge of the P. So I actually took less damage by tapping the button in time. And if you're playing with a teammate, so I'm going to be over here on the assist side here. So my job here is basically just to call an assist, right? Since I'm the assist player and we're on Sidekick Fuse, all I can really do is call myself as an assist. But if my partner is taking damage, I can be in charge of tapping the button and reducing the damage taken. So they can focus on just playing as the point character, and I can be back here calling my assist and tapping the button to reduce the damage taken. So make sure, regardless of whatever fuse you pick, you know all the details and all the mechanics that come with it, because some of them are much more complicated than they appear at first. All right, the next tip that I have for you guys is to take advantage of handshake tag. If you don't know what handshake tag is, it's the idea that you can call an assist, and then at any point, you can just tag into that assist character. And this is one of the most powerful mechanics in the game, and it's really essential that you get used to using this and you don't just tag normally all the time, because it's much stronger if you tag off an assist. So you can definitely use this for like really ridiculous stuff, like creating sandwiches with your assist and doing all kinds of like crazy high-low mix-ups. But the most basic and one immediately powerful way that you can use handshake tag is simply whenever your assist hits or is blocked, just tag them in right there, because this is actually a really strong situation, because the tag will cancel the recovery of the assist attack and leave you plus on block. So just as an example here, if I block this Darius assist, I can mash buttons all I want, but Darius will have the advantage and he will hit me there because he has the frame advantage. It is his turn after I block the assist, so this is a very powerful situation. And obviously, if the assist hits as well, you can just get a nice combo off it like that. So yes, just calling your assist and then tagging off of it is just a powerful thing to do, and it's good to get used to switching between your characters seamlessly, because this is a tag game, this is an active tag game, and using the assist and tag mechanics is extremely important for doing well in 2x KO. All right, guys, my next tip for you is always spend your super meter if you can. So the way this game works is that you will always start a round with 1 meter on both characters, no matter what. So even if in the last round you had 3 meters at the end of the round, at the start of this round, you will always have 1. So if you don't use it, you lose it, essentially. Now, I'm not saying that you should just randomly throw out supers. This is usually a bad idea since most supers are going to be punishable on block. But for example, if you get a combo and you're sitting on 3 meters, consider ending the combo in level 3 instead of level 1. I see a lot of people just autopilot and end with their level 1, maybe thinking, hey, I might need that other meter later. But at the end of the round, you're going to lose the meter anyway. So it's a good idea to use it. And this even applies if your character is dead. So you can see Blitzcrank is out of commission. He's out of health. I am still allowed to call him as an assist, but that is one of the rules in this game. And if I hold down and press assist, he will spend a meter and come in to do a super. So if you have a dead character sitting on a ton of meter, you may as well use their super assist and try to clutch out the round with it. It can make a huge difference. And always remember, if you don't use it, you lose it in this game. No point saving your meter for a rainy day. Actually take advantage of your supers if you can and get that big damage. All right, guys, my next tip has to do with break, the combo breaking mechanic of the game. So this is probably a pretty common situation you'll run into where the opponent's beating you up, you get put into a combo, and you break out of it, and then you tag into your other character because you want to get that gray health back. You want to, switch your characters out so you can try to recover and turn the match around. But if you do this where you tag immediately, you are giving up a lot of advantage. What you should instead try to do is almost every time you break, you should do an attack and then tag. So pay attention to what I do with Jinx here. I'm going to break out of the combo. I'm going to shoot a rocket, and then I'm going to tag. And you can see I actually got a combo off of that rocket with Ahri, but even if the opponent has to block it, I'm still going to basically turn around the momentum and get offensive pressure off of my break. I mean, doesn't this just sound so powerful? Not only am I breaking out of the opponent's combo, I'm turning the situation around and getting an advantage for myself just by spending my break. So you should always look to do this. The most obvious thing to do in this situation is probably going to be a projectile like we saw with Jinx, or with Alawi, you can do like that with her tentacle. But some other ideas here with Vi, after you land your break, you can charge up her S1, use that to rocket over at the opponent, and you've already tagged out, so you'll get a really big advantage if they have to block this rush punch. With Blitzcrank, a good one you can do is his jump S2, so you can see you can basically break, run up, and kind of rocket yourself at the opponent and then follow it up with your new point character. So whatever your preferred option here is with your character, just look out for this situation because you can really turn your break into a positive situation instead of just a neutral situation, and this really will make a huge difference in matches and help you turn the match around easier when you get hit. But by the way, break is not the only time where you can take advantage of this. Another really big one is going to be push block. When you push block the opponent away by tapping assist while blocking, you can tag afterwards. And once again, you can make this much stronger by throwing out an attack and then tagging. So now all of a sudden, instead of just pushing the opponent off you and kind of resetting you back to neutral, your push block can turn things into a positive situation for you. Like all of a sudden, I have the offense just because I push blocked you away. So after a burst or after a push block, or in all kinds of situations in general, if you're thinking about tagging, if your assist is on screen, do an attack first, make the opponent respect that attack, and then give yourself an opportunity to tag. This is a really, really powerful strategy in 2x KO. All right, while we're on the subject of break, the next tip I want to talk about is baiting the opponent's break. So I've had some people ask, like, hey, how do you do the thing where you like parry and counter the opponent's break like this and you get a combo off it? And it's more simple than it looks. You just have to block the opponent's break and you will automatically get this nice wall bounce that you can combo off of. So blocking the opponent's break can be a huge turnaround in a match. All of a sudden they've wasted their break and you get a free combo on their incoming character. Pretty ridiculous. But you may find it's a lot harder to do than you might think. Like the opponent, they can just break out of a lot of combos, and it's going to be really, really hard to block it because obviously you're in the middle of doing an attack. How are you going to block in the middle of a combo. It doesn't really make sense, right? But the absolute easiest time, the #1 way that you will see break baited is after a launcher, because after a launcher, a down plus heavy launcher, you can immediately block. You can jump and then just immediately block. So this is by far the most common time that you will see break broken. Break broken. You will see break countered the most after a launcher, just like that. So definitely get used to it. Have this in your head when your opponent has full break meter. You might want to think about doing a launch and putting a small little gap in there where you hold back just in case they break. You can, boom, bait it just like that and get a free combo on them. This is really, really powerful, and you will really tilt some people if you manage to block and counter their break. But remember that this goes the other way as well. When the opponent is comboing you, don't break right after they launch you, because that is the most common time that the opponent is going to be trying to bait your break. So be very careful with your break. Try to do it during a ground combo or wait until after they've already hit you with an air attack after launching, and then you're free to break. So yes, break is a powerful tool. It lets you get out of a combo almost for free, but not entirely for free, because it can be baited. So think twice about it, whether it's your break or the opponent's, and just be very smart about when you use it. All right, my next tip I have for you guys is use all of your wake up options. When you're knocked down, you have several different choices that you can do here. So the first most obvious one is you can roll on wake up. If you hold left, you will roll to the left. If you hold right, you will roll to the right. And this can sometimes be very useful. Obviously, mid-screen, you can just roll away from the opponent, and it's going to be way harder for them to attack you and pressure you while you're getting up. In the corner, it can be really powerful when you're knocked down to roll out, because the opponent might try to pressure you, keep attacking you while you're getting up, and then you can just escape by rolling forward out of the corner. But you have a third option here, and that is just to get directly up and not press anything. And this option can actually be very, very powerful, because this allows you to do wake up attack. So if you hold special button 1 or special button 2 while you're waking up, you will do this little wake up attack. And you can only do this attack if you get up neutral. So if you wake up roll, you will lose access to this wake up attack, and the opponent will have an easier time pressuring you. But obviously, this attack has its downsides as well. It can be blocked and punished if the opponent is looking for it. So don't just do the same wake up option every time and get really predictable. Mix up which way you're rolling. Mix up between getting up neutral, rolling forward and back, using your wake up attacks. And at the end of the day, by far the safest thing that you can do while you're waking up is to just get up neutral and then just block. So as you can see, I'm just blocking as soon as I get up. I'm not rolling forward or backward. I'm just getting up straight and then blocking. And then this even will have a little bit of throw immunity. So as you can see, when I get up, he tries to throw me right as I stand up, and the throw goes through me, because you have a little bit of throw immunity when you get up straight up. Whereas if you roll, here I'm going to roll backwards, and you can see he can throw me. So you don't have that throw immunity if you roll, but you do if you get straight up. But for my next step, I'm going to turn the last one on its head. Not only do you need to utilize all your wake-up options, but you need to punish the opponent's wake-up options. In particular, punish their wake-up roll. So if you are looking for the opponent to wake-up roll, you will be able to punish it. As you can see here, I roll into the corner and I get grabbed. So you might think to yourself, okay, well, I'll just roll and then I'll jump, right? But even though I'm holding up, you can see down at the bottom there, I am holding up during this. When I wake up, I cannot jump the grab. So when you wake up roll, you are vulnerable to grab. Even if you hold up, if the opponent times it properly, they can grab you out of your roll. This works with any character, but especially if you're playing a grappler character like Blitzcrank or Braum. This is just so powerful, because you can see you can do something like do a combo with Blitzcrank. We'll end it with super. The opponent thinks, I'm in the corner, I want to roll out. But no, we'll just grab him as he rolls out. We just got a ton of free damage on the opponent that he couldn't jump out of, because he rolled out of the corner after getting hit by this super. So be very careful if you're just rolling on every wake up you might be making yourself vulnerable. So if you want to practice beating this in training mode, there is a really easy way to do it. You go to bots, you go to ground tech settings, and we're going to set this to random. So now basically we can just do whatever combo we want to the opponent and just look at him and see if he rolls, we're going to throw him. So here we'll go for it again. We'll just do whatever combo, watch him, see if he rolls, and he didn't roll that time. So we'll just do like a normal block string or pressure or whatever afterwards. So this is definitely something that is really strong and really worth practicing. Once you get a little bit more advanced at the game, you can also see after a super, this kind of stands Vi back at the perfect place to try to punish this roll. So see what kinds of knockdown situations you get off of your different supers and your different combos. And try to react to the opponent rolling on wake up, because roll is punishable with a throw if you're looking for it. All right, it's good we were talking about throw already, because this next tip has to do with forward throw. So forward throw in this game, as you can see, gives you a hard knockdown. It says it there, right behind my head there. It says hard knockdown when you land a normal throw. And this is one of the only ways in the game to get a hard knockdown. It is very, very hard to get a hard knockdown. You can see back throw doesn't even give you one. Back throw, you throw the opponent behind you, but you do not get that hard knockdown. So why is a hard knockdown so important, right? Well, you know, you're going to find different tricks and different mix-ups and different fun little things as you play this game. Like with Ari, for example, you might see, oh, I can do a triple cross-up setup. No one in the world is gonna block this. They're gonna get hit by this triple overhead on the back, and I'm gonna get a free combo on them, right? That seems so powerful. So you go into training mode and you come up with all these plans, like, okay, I'm gonna get the knockdown. I'm gonna go for this ridiculous mix-up. He's not gonna know what hit him. This is gonna be the most unblockable wake-up pressure known to man. But sure enough, when you go into an actual match, you'll find that, you know, even if you get this knockdown, it doesn't really work because the opponent can roll on wake up, and all of a sudden your plans don't really work anymore. You don't know which way they're going to get up, and so you won't be able to set up mix-ups very effectively. But sure enough, off of a normal grab, you can be certain that they will get up neutral because this is a hard knockdown. They can't wake up roll. So now you can go for your ridiculous unblockable mix. Same thing, maybe you're playing a character like Yasuo, and it's like, okay, I've set up this ridiculous sandwich where they're not going to know what side they're getting hit on, all kinds of crazy mix and that kind of thing by crossing over them with an assist. But yeah, actually applying this in a match can be quite hard because you get the knockdown, and then you go for it, and yeah, no, the opponent rolled all the way over to the other side of the screen. You're not going to get that mix. It's not going to work. But then, again, if you land any normal grab, all of a sudden, it's like, boom, we're in there. The opponent is infinitely sandwiched. They are probably going to get opened up by that mix-up. So yeah, normal throw into mix is very, very powerful with this hard knockdown. And here, check out the most cursed one, okay? I saw this from Tyrant. If we're playing Blitzcrank, we'll just jump over, and then boom, it's a cross-up. Is that not... Everyone is getting hit by this the first time. There is zero chance that you are blocking this correctly the first time you see it. And again, this is all possible because of normal grab. If you do a command grab, you can't do this. The opponent can wake up, roll, and all of a sudden this cross-up is super obvious and not going to work. But off of a normal grab, yeah, the opponent can't roll, and they are getting mixed. So yeah, normal grab is really, really powerful, and like normal grab into mix into dead character, I think is going to be a super common situation at high level play in this game, especially when you consider the fact that normal grab beats roll. It's going to be something that you're landing fairly often, so you want to have some good setups off of a normal grab hard knockdown. Okay, my next tip is parry reactable moves. Okay, so parry is a mechanic that I don't think a lot of new players are using, but once you get better at the game, you are going to want to take advantage of it, especially against certain characters. So there are some moves in the game that are, you know, maybe they're like scrub killer moves, let's just say. Darius, his pull is definitely one of them. If you block this pull, you have to guess, because he can go into a command grab, he can go into an overhead that he can combo off of. Yeah, this move will utterly destroy you when you're fighting Darius for the first time. You do not want to get put in this guessing game situation. But the bright news about this move is that it's 28 frame startup, which, if you guys don't know, that's almost half a second, which is reactable if you're looking at it. If you're really paying attention, you should be able to react to this move with some practice and get the parry. So now all of a sudden, this move becomes a little bit of a liability for Darius to throw out, because you can react with a parry, and if parry hits, you actually don't lose a meter. Parry costs 1 meter, but you get the meter back if it connects. So yeah, this move can become very, very scary for Darius to use against an opponent who is actually good at parrying. And the same thing applies to his S2, the attack that applies the bleed debuff. New players love just spamming this. It's safe on block. You get a combo on hit if you're close to the corner. It applies bleed. This is just a ridiculous move, but of course, it is parry bait. It is only 20 frames, the second one, so it is going to be a harder reaction. But to be honest, against people who are just spamming this every time, just go for it. Make them think twice. Make them doubt whether it's safe to abuse this move. And then once you get better, you can work on reacting to it consistently. So yeah, don't let Darius get away with this nonsense. But there's another character with one of these as well. That's going to be Blitzcrank with his S1, which is the grappling hook that pulls you in. This move is 25 frames of startup, so it is rather reactable if you're a good player. And trust me, you do not want to block this move. It is very bad if you block this move, because Blitzcrank is +4. So naturally, the most common thing that Blitz players are going to do here is after you block this, they're going to command grab you, right? So you're like, okay, that's bad. So I'll just hold up, you know? I'll hold up to jump out of the command throw, right? But actually, because this move is +4 on block, you're not really allowed to hold up back here. As you can see, I'm just chicken blocking, as they call it. I am holding up back after I block the grapple, and I get hit. Because he's +4, he has the advantage. He has enough time to hit you out of the startup of your jump. So yes, blocking this move is essentially a guess. You have to guess block or jump, and if you guess wrong, you will get hit. And so that is why it is very, very effective to parry this move on reaction. There you go. You get a free combo. Bada bing, bada boom. You're good to go. And then one more move that I think is super important to parry is this Yasuo cross-up move. This move does hit on the back, so you have to switch the direction you block, which is really hard to do here. People just get hit by this all day, and even if you do block it, you're like, okay, cool, let me block and punish or whatever. But yeah, he can actually stance cancel this move. So here, even if I correctly switch which way I'm blocking, you know, half the time I'm just going to get hit after the stance cancel anyway. So it's not that good to block this move, and he might just have an assist behind him as well. So yeah, all that being said, of course, you can just parry it and get a full combo. It's 27 frames of startup, which again is going to be reactable. So yeah, if Yasuo players are abusing this move against you, try to react to it with a parry. Get the meter back for spending it. I just really love that feature that you get the meter back if the parry is successful. Get a combo and make them think twice about spamming these slow, reactable scrub killer moves. Okay, and my final tip for you guys today is make sure you're using all of the very useful features in training mode. This training mode, as you can see, is very chock full of features. It might be a little bit intimidating to use at first, but I've already shown you some of the stuff you can do in here. You know, you can do randomized teching in the ground or in the air, so you can practice against that. You can also do random block, which is very useful. You can practice hit confirming into your combos, you know, so you can like call an assist if the opponent blocks and then go into your combo if it hits. Stuff like that is very useful to practice. You can give the opponent different reversal wake up options, so you can test like, okay, if the opponent mashes light on wake up, can I actually interrupt it here, or will I get hit by them mashing? So this can be really useful to use as well. But one feature that I really, really like is the save state button. So, you know, you can save the game at any point by just pausing and going to capture save state. So now you can just do restore save state, and it'll put you back right at that moment. And actually, once you click restore save state, now your quick reset button will always bring you to that save state. So your quick reset button, you can set here in controls. Here you can see I have it set to the select button or the menu button, whatever that's called on my controller. So now anytime I press this, I will reset back to that. So why is this useful? Well, one really good reason to use this is if you are practicing like a really hard combo, right? So let's say I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to call in blitz, do my super. Let me just capture save state right here. And now I can practice this situation very easily. So I'll just restore save state. And now I can see what am I able to get after this situation. So we don't have to do the same whole combo a million times with Alawi before testing this. No, we can just go straight into the moment that we actually want to test using this save state. So this is so useful for optimization, for practicing stuff, for working on your switch setups as well. Let's say, for example, I want to do like a setup like this where we have a tag cancel and I want to practice like what am I able to get after that tag cancel. Yeah, we can just do this. Pause, capture save state, and now we restore save state, and anytime I press this button, I will be able to see what am I able to get off of this tag cancel. So yeah, stuff like this is so useful to practice. I highly recommend messing with the save states if you want to practice stuff more easily. Also, don't forget record and playback. You've seen me use that a bunch throughout this video. Again, this is something that you have to bind. You go into your controls, edit controls, and down here, toggle recording, toggle playback. You can just set that to 2 buttons that you're not using. And now you can record the dummy doing stuff and practice punishing it if it's like, okay, how do I deal with someone just spamming this, right? How do I punish that? Oh, okay, I can dash up and hit them there. So yeah, record and playback, very useful as well. If you're an experienced fighting game player, you're probably used to using these. But yes, in 2XKO, the training mode is very, very fully featured. So they give you lots of great ways to practice the game and get your setups down so you can start getting those big wins. Not only that, you can mix up between which recording that you're using. You can set it to loop if you want. Yeah, all this stuff is really, really good. You can have multiple save slots. Yeah, definitely highly recommend getting familiar with training mode because it's really going to make you a better player. I think a lot of the best players in the world spend a lot of time in training mode and not just grinding. But with that, I think it's about time to end the master class. Let me know if you guys found much of this useful at all. My 10 tips now that we got them down. And let me know if you have any more down in the comments that you want to share with the players out there who might be looking to improve at 2XKO. Hit me up with those tips down in the comments. Thank you once again to Riot Games for partnering with me on this video. And with that, we're going to end it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.